Hello friends, today in this tutorial we will be building a React.js YouTube live subscriber count kind of application using the YouTube Data API version 3. So this will be the live demo of this application. You can see that here you can just enter any sort of channel URL on YouTube. So I'm taking example of this channel Technical Guruji. So you will see that it has got 18 million subscribers. So here if I copy paste this channel URL, this is the ID. You can see that channel ID. If I submit here, you will see you have this much of subscribers, these much of videos, and these much of views. So we are all fetching this data from the YouTube Data API version 3. If I just show you the response here, you will see we are hitting this endpoint and we are getting this JSON response. We are passing this response. If I just see here, you can see that this is a URL that we are hitting. So in order to build this, I have given all the source code in the video description. You can go to my blog, step-by-step instruction is given. So go to the video description and download the source code. And now to get started, let me just delete all this and start from scratch. So first of all, we will import React from the base library React, and then what we will do, for this purpose we are using a UI library which is Bootstrap. So here I am using Code Sandbox. So we are using this dependency Bootstrap, one dependency, and then we are using also this React dash Bootstrap. So basically React dash Bootstrap is specifically built for React. So you need to install these two dependencies. So after installing it, we can just import this. So it is quite easy. We need to import first of all the CSS file also. So this is there inside the bootstrap /dist /css /bootstrap.main.css. So this file is available. We need to import this. And next what we want to do is that we need to import two components. First is button and the second one is form. So this is, we are getting it from React/Bootstrap. That's it. Now we can make our functional component like this. So here what we can do is that we can return something here. So let's suppose we have a simple button component. If I close this, so you will see if I write hello world, you will see it is compiling it. So just wait, on the right hand side you will see a button of hello world. You can see on the blue color. So you can change this color accordingly. So this is just a button component. And now let me just delete it. Instead we want a simple form. So just make two break tags to create some space. After that two break tags, we will be having the form component that we have imported form. Close this, and inside this form component we need to close this form component. So just wait, we need to close this. So inside this form component we will be having another form group. So basically what you can do is that you can go to my blog. So basically this is just a random kind of HTML, so I will not write it. So just go to my blog. So you will have this form here available to you. So I can simply copy paste it, copy, and if I go to it, simply I can paste it. So just wait guys, I think I need to recopy this. So copy it and again paste it. So you will see we have this form and we have defined this handle submit function. So whenever the form submits, on submit attribute is there, and also we have defined handle change. So whenever the URL has been changed, So basically it is required here, and we have given the placeholder of enter channel URL, and then we have a simple button to submit the form. So now we just need to define these two functions. So first function is handle submit. First we will define the handle change, and second we will define our handle submit. So both functions will take this e parameter, which stands for event. So it is just compiling it, so just wait. So you will see it is saying URL is not available. So we need to declare this URL variable right here at the top, which we will have our state. So we will use useState for this. So set URL will be the function which will set the URL for us. So for this we will use the useState hook, and the default value for URL will be null. And now if I refresh it, you will see useState is not defined, so we need to import this. So right here at the very top you need to import this. So if you import it, on the right hand side you will see a simple form. So just wait, it is compiling it. So just you can see that channel URL, and this is your simple input box where you can submit, and this is a simple button. And now what we want is that we need to declare some more variables. Next we will define our API key. So here we will store our API key. So the process is pretty simple. If you call any sort of Google API, you need to have a API key. So let me just copy mine. Let me just show you how to get one. So in order to get a API key, you need to go to Google Developer Console. Go to this website, and here you need to sign up for a project. I have already logged in, so here you need to go to credentials, and after this you need to, then an option will come here which is create credentials. So here you need to click it and click on API key. So this will generate your API key. So simply what you need to do, you need to copy to clipboard and store this API key somewhere else so that you can use it inside your application. So I can just close this, and if I go back to my application, so after having this API key, what we need to declare is that now when we make any sort of change inside this channel URL, we need to log this change. So inside this handle change, we need to get this value. So we can say here console log e.target.value. So what you will see is that if I type anything here, you will see this keystroke will be there, FSDF. So we are successfully getting this value. So now what we want to do, we need to set this URL. So we will call this hook set URL function, and we will pass this value eTarget.value. That's it. So this will set this value. After this we need to go to the handle submit and call this e.prevent_default. So basically this will prevent the auto submission of the form. Now after this we need to install one other dependency which is called as let me just show you. If you add dependency, you will search for this dependency, get YouTube-channel ID. So basically it will extract the channel ID from the YouTube URL. So you need to install this dependency inside your project. So after doing this, we need to import this dependency. So we can just make a result variable to extract the channel. We need to make this function as async because this uses await keyword. And we can call this as we need to require this dependency. So right here after this you can require it const YouTube channel ID, and then you can make use of require statement. So this is a get YouTube channel ID. So this is a dependency. So now we have successfully required it. Now we can use this function YouTube channel ID. So YouTube channel ID, and we can pass the URL. That's it. Now we can even console log the result just to check if it is returning the result or not. If I just refresh the application, and now I need to pass the URL, so I can pass the channel URL, copy link address. If I go to it, what happened? So if I refresh it, basically guys, I can open this inside the browser. So if I go to, so here I can open this inside my browser, because this gives you a live URL so that you can open it. So simply I can plug this URL, click on submit, and if I go to inspect element, and if I show you the console, you will see a object will be there. Nothing is printed out. Why? Let me just see. So now you can see that guys, if I plug this channel URL and click on submit, and if you check the console here, you will see a object will be returned to you holding this ID of the channel. So we have successfully extracted the channel ID from the channel URL. So now we just need to pass this ID to the GET request to the API. So first of all, we need to fetch the ID. So for fetching the ID, we can just say here result.id. So then we need to store this somewhere else. So here we can just make a simple fetch call. So the fetch call will be pretty easy. So if I just show you so what kind of URL we are hitting. So if I just show you, this is the full URL, https www.googleapis.com. If I just copy this URL, and if I go to it, paste it, so you will see, you can just write this inside backtick symbol. So this gives you the opportunity to plug the dynamic variables. So here you will pass your ID, result.id, and then you will plug your API key. So we have stored this inside a variable called as API key. That's it. So this is our URL. Again, I explain you, https googleapis.com/youtube/version3/channels part is equal to statistics, and ID is equal to this ID, and this is the key variable. So basically, as you know, fetch returns a promise, so we need to handle this promise by .then. So this will have the data to us. We first of all need to convert this data to JSON. This again returns a promise holding the result. So what we can do is that, so if I just console log the result just to check if it is returning or not. Now if I refresh submit, you will see this will return an object to us. If I expand this object, you will see this items array, and this will have only one object to it, which has a property of statistics, and it is holding all the information: view count, subscriber count, and video count. Now we just need to display this information inside our React.js application. So for this, we can just declare some state variables. First, for holding the subscribers, set subscribers, and the initial value will be null. And then we can simply repeat this for views, set views. We can again use useState to null. We can again repeat for videos, set videos. So these are the state variables that we are declaring here. That's it. So after this, guys, what we can do is that we can call this state variables or state methods one after the other. So first of all, we will call set subscribers, to set the subscribers. So this is available inside result.items array. This will have the first property, and inside this we have this property of statistics, and inside this we have got subscriber count. So this is the first property. Similarly, we need to call set views. So this is there inside result.items, and inside this we have statistics dot view count, and similarly set videos. So this is result.items dot statistics dot video count. And now we simply need to display these variables inside our JSX. So after the form sends, we can just say you have this much of subscribers. So inside double curly brackets, single curly brackets, we can just write subscribers and subscribers. Similarly, we can write you have this much of views and this much of videos. So after each information we can put a break tag also, just to align it perfectly. That's it. So if I just plug in my channel URL, sorry, let me just go to it. You can take any example. I'm just taking Technical Guruji, and if I go to it, plug this details, click submit, and you will see dynamically we are fetching these details: 18 million subscribers, 21 billion views, and this 243 videos. You can also match it. You can see 18 million subscribers is there. So in this way you can just create a live subscriber count kind of application in using YouTube Data API version 3 in React. All the source code will be there inside the video description. Just download the source code, and please like the video, subscribe the channel, and I will be seeing you next video.